put you on the plate, my niggas gon' eat.
Kitchen vibes on a purple mink, yeah, yeah. Codeine Molly help a nigga think, yeah, yeah. Take the drugs till I can't blink, yeah, yeah. Poppin' Adderall, sippin' drink, yeah, yeah. Lights out, no TV, bitch on geek, yeah, yeah. Can't take another log from the streets, yeah, yeah. Maybach coupe on fleet, tall like a Jeep, yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Dan Studios again. I'm really happy, excited. It's holiday season, you know what I mean? I just went gift shopping and basically like, I don't know, I'm just really excited for this holiday because I actually, okay, I can't keep this in for long. I have some news for you. All my holiday shopping out the way. I'm super happy about it because this year I had to do way more shopping and I did more shopping for more people. I got way more gifts. Usually, you know, I used to get like one gift for everyone in my family. But this year, I literally just like said, you know what, I'm going to the store, I'm buying a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to just write people's names on it. So that's basically what I did, and I can't wait for you guys to see my Christmas video coming up. But, by the way, I'm really tired because I literally spent mad energy dancing. By the way, before I turn on the camera, it's not like I be practicing my dance moves, you know what I mean? Whatever's on camera is what you see. But basically, today's video, I actually wanted to do this video for a while. The reason why I haven't done it is because I'm like, dang, like, there's so much other ideas that I feel like came before this, but I do think this video is really important to talk about. So today we're talking about like me living in New York, and the reason why I wanted to mention this because I think like living in New York, you kind of understand like how am I able to do a lot of the things that I do, and really like how my life is structured. Because New York is a city that really like encourages every single part of like my channel. So like it's a very creative. It has a lot of arts, a lot of culture, like people from all over the world, and not only people but ideas and food and culture comes to New York. So if you're being in the city has got me access to so many different things. That's why I can produce a lot of content. Now being in New York comes with a high price, but once you actually know how to operate and how to be productive, like some people, if you're just gonna be a hard worker and focus, you're gonna be successful here, right? And then you have to change. New York City also changes your mindset, because for me, New York City does come with a lot of challenges. Like it's not always gonna be like all good times, but if you change your mindset to learn how to like learn from your mistakes and learn from problems, then you can succeed here. And I think that's why, you know what I mean, I got to where I am now. But long story short, I've been living in New York for about 21 years now. And to be honest, like my experience here it's kind of new, because when I was a kid, when I lived in Brooklyn, I didn't really go to Manhattan. And today's video is going to be mostly about Manhattan, you know what I mean? Because Manhattan is like the hub, it's like the commercial center for everything. And I never really went to Manhattan, but after college, I said, you know what, I want to get a job in Manhattan. My first job, I worked on Madison Avenue selling suits. And I made commission. I didn't make like bad money. It was good money, but let's just say I didn't get like a very corporate job. And through that experience, working on that, I got to like, the reason why I wanted to do retail, because like when you do retail, you're the first line of people that actually deal with like tourists. You know what I mean? Like as soon as a tourist comes to the city, they're gonna do attractions, but they're also gonna go shopping. And guess where they go? To stores. So I met a lot of people from all over the world. I met like what do you call it, diplomats, like a lot of politicians, because it was a suit place. So it's mostly like people that have money that wear suits in their regular lives. So that was my experience there. But I just want to talk about some of the advantages to living in New York. Like food is like number one for me. I'm not gonna lie, like having access to like food from all over the world is amazing. Like I eat out, like I try something new. I try to try something new every week. I think I do a good job of that. Like even though I get free food provided to me, like really good food, I still go out to like new restaurants and like experience different things. If anyone doesn't know, I actually love steak. So like the New York steak in New York is just amazing. But anyway, yeah, food is like definitely one of the highlights to like living in New York. Also like I realized that living in New York and working in the city has made me, let's just say it's put me in a certain, it's made my life more like modern and luxury, right? Like for example, like every single thing that I do in New York is like, it's a lot of money. So for example, like a lot of money has been invested there. So like a lot of the places that I go to, a lot of the people that I talk to are people of like a higher class, so they make a lot of money and everything is quality. They care about like modern luxury. So I just been surrounded by that. So like I'm kind of spoiled. So anytime I go to like a hotel in another city, it has to be like a 5-star or like at least a 4-star like luxury hotel. Cause I'm like, yo, what the heck is this? Like, what is it? Like, mind you, I came from Jamaica. Like, you know what I mean? So it's crazy to think about. Like, as soon as I started working in the city and started to make money, I started to realize that, okay, if I'm gonna live in the city, things are expensive, and that makes me, I'm gonna need to work hard. Now, the fact that I've made it to where I am now and I can afford to like live in the city is amazing. Like, one of my goals is actually, I want to actually move, I would say like the end of next year, maybe like 2 years from now, into Manhattan, because I do feel like living in Manhattan is just so easy. Another thing I wanted to mention, guys, is that you have to understand that if I live in the center of Manhattan, Manhattan connects you in terms of travel wise to everything. So like, for example, there's trains that go everywhere. There's obviously the main airports probably go to like every single country, or at least like majority. You have buses to take you anywhere. Like, there's so much commuter friendly options in New York. And I'm not even just talking about the subway. Like, obviously the subway is great and everything, that it gets you to everywhere you need to be, and it takes you, and it's like very convenient and fast. But like, traveling for me, like the older I'm getting, is like the more I'm starting to like travel to other like places, not just like other states but other countries. Living in New York is like the best place for that, because like I feel like it's cheaper when you travel to other places, because like everything is like, for example, like traveling to Miami for me is nothing, right? Like, if you can find good tickets for under like $50 round, like one way, so it's just way more convenient to live in New York if you want to travel. So we talk about food, travel. The atmosphere is very different. Like, every part of the city has this different vibe. Where I work at is the financial district, so it's very much like corporatized. There are some tourists, obviously, but it's very like modern, very clean. You don't see any homeless. And then you can go to like Midtown, where it's very like tight spaced and very like crowded. A lot of energy, a lot of things happening. You can go Central Park, which is very much like, you know what I mean, diverse and nice area. Like, there's just there's many different places to New York, and many different like atmospheres. I'm trying to describe it to the right way, because if you haven't been to New York, it's hard to understand. Another thing that I like about New York is like all the events come to me. So like all the concerts, all the main attractions, everything that like is world known, eventually ends up in New York. So I don't have to go places to go experiencing things, you know what I mean, which is a great thing. I'm actually going to a concert later today that I want to film. It's not a concert, it's actually like a show, but I'm gonna let you guys know about that. Yeah, so we talked about food, we talked about commuting, we talked about the atmosphere. Another thing I would say is, let's talk about the people for a second. So the people of New York, like, honestly, I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions. Like, yes, there's like a perception of like a New Yorker, like, hey, get out of here, like, you know what I mean, like going to like hot dog stands and stuff, and like walking in front of cars. But at the end of the day, like, New York is getting way more diverse, and obviously like it's getting so expensive that a lot of people that have lived here, the people that are outside, the outside money is gonna come in and kind of push the old money, or not the old money, but the people that grew up here out. And I've seen that throughout my lifetime. Like, a lot of my friends from high school and middle school, they no longer live in New York. They might live around the area, but they don't live in like Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, because they know that it's like getting way more expensive. Like, I feel like I was looking at an apartment. It's like a 1-bedroom in Brooklyn, and I think it cost like $1,500. Oh, sorry, no, it was $2,000. So just be prepared that when you come in, have a plan, be focused, be ready to work, because, you know what I mean. And the thing is that I know people that like live in New York, but they don't really enjoy New York. They just live in New York and they work in New York and they make money. That's no fun. Like, there has to be a balance, right? Like, yes, I work in New York and I work very hard, but at the end of the day, like, I do spend time and doing activities. Like, you have to enjoy New York, because you're paying a lot of tax money for New York, you know what I mean? You're paying for schools, you're paying for every single thing that they build, all these free programs. Your tax money is going towards. So why not take advantage of like what the city has to offer? You know, and this doesn't just go for this city. It goes for any city, but especially New York, because it's the most expensive city, you know what I mean, in America. Also, I wanted to mention this. So for me myself, New York is a great place if you want to meet like rich people. So like, for example, you'll be on the train and you'll be sitting next to someone who wears a suit, and that person could be worth like $100 million. You know what I mean? Or they can own $1 billion company. You know what I mean? Like, I've met CEOs, I met executives, I met, like I said, politicians that millions is nothing to them. To me, it's kind of like something where I don't look at them for the money. It's like I look at them like in their industry. Like, how do you get to the like financial success in your industry? And that's the way that I perceive it. So like a lot of the times when I meet people that's wealthy or people that's successful in their career or financially, I kind of want to learn from them and gain knowledge. I don't just look at them and be like, oh, you have a Rolex, so let me talk to you. You know what I mean? These are people that are industry people that I got close to based on my relationships and my connections. And so the other thing is with celebrities, like, I'm probably like the most, like, I don't really celebrate celebrity culture. Like, when I see someone famous, I don't like run to them, be like, yo, let me get your autograph. Like, I remember one time I was in a hotel, this is not even in New York, this was like in Tampa, but I was like next to a hotel where Steph Curry was like in a pool. And I love Steph Curry, like one of my favorite basketball players, right? But I'm not just gonna run over to him and be like, hey, look, let me talk to you. Like, I really don't care. I respect what you do. I respect that you're good at your craft. And yes, I know that you're famous to the world, but I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm not gonna run, like, come out of my zone just to like get like a signature from you, or you know, for you, like, get your attention, get a picture with you. I'm just not about that culture. I'm not saying like I'm disrespectful, but like, you know what I mean, a lot of times I respect people's privacy in their own space. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean I have the right to invade your space. And living in New York is something that I think I've actually dealt with. Like, there's many times I've walked in the street and then I'll see like a crowd of people around a celebrity and I'll just walk past. Like, I just don't care. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because like I'm kind of like normal for me, but I don't know. It's weird. Also, like, being in New York, like, I realized that I'm a black man in New York, so this is a city that makes everyone feel welcomed and everyone feel like accustomed to it, because like the CEO of my company, obviously very famous and he's well known and he's an immigrant. But in other places of the world, I mean, not other places of America, it's not like that. Like, you're gonna be a minority. In New York, it never made me feel like a minority, because like I feel like it's a city of minorities. You understand? Yes, there's like a high class, there's a high upper class, but they don't, it's not like it's like excluded to people that are like from different colors. As long as you work hard and you can prove yourself, you're welcome in that. And you know what I mean, you really do feel that. You don't really feel like excluded from anything in New York. Everything's available. Now, when it comes to like prices, you might feel excluded, right? Like, for example, if you see a hotel in New York and it's $800, then you're gonna feel excluded because you're like, damn, that's expensive. I can't afford that. Like, you have to be making a lot more money to afford to stay at a hotel for like a week. You know what I mean? For that. But other than that, like, you know that you can make it if you work hard in New York City, and the city will reward you. Because a lot of people that I like, when I go to Miami or like LA or a lot of other states, a lot of people that are there that are like vacationing, like I am, going to like the cool stuff, a lot of them, you'll be surprised, are from New York or they have affiliations with New York. New York, it just has that strong like tie in terms of like jobs, families, you know, everything. Like, everyone knows someone from New York, I think, or someone who has been to New York, obviously. But yeah, it's one of the greatest cities to live in America. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest city in the world, because I have to travel the world before I can make that statement. But a lot of people tell me that it is, so I'm gonna take their word for now. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.